You know, for basically all of human history, we've thought of creativity as our special spark. It's the thing that makes us human, right? But what if that's changing? And I mean like right now, right before our eyes. Okay, let's get into this, because the line between human and machine creativity, it is getting blurrier every single day.
Think about it. That ability to dream up something totally new, to write a song, to paint a masterpiece, that has always been our thing, our domain. But now, you've got generative AI that's composing, painting, and writing in ways that really challenge that fundamental belief. This isn't some sci-fi movie plot anymore. It's happening now, and we need to figure out what it all means.
So how do you even begin to measure something as abstract as creativity? Well, scientists have actually taken on that challenge. They've put AI through the exact same creative tests that we go through. Let's start by looking at the first big piece of evidence. And this wasn't just some small, back-of-the-lab experiment. No way. We're talking about a huge, really rigorous study led by Professor Kareem Jerby. They brought in a ton of AI researchers and set out to create the biggest, most extensive comparison of human versus machine creativity to date.
The main test they used is called the Divergent Association Task, or DAT for short. It's actually a super clever way to measure a key part of creativity called divergent thinking. The task itself is pretty simple. They ask you to come up with 10 words that are as different from each other in meaning as you can possibly think of. It's not a vocabulary test. It's all about seeing how well your mind can jump between totally unrelated ideas.
Okay, and this is where things get wild. When the results came in, GPT-4, which is one of the most advanced AIs out there, actually scored higher than the average human. It was just flat out better at generating a set of diverse, unrelated words. I mean, that's a massive finding. It really signals a major shift in what we thought machines were even capable of. But hold on, that is not the whole story. Before we all start panicking about the end of human creativity, the study found something really important. AI seems to have a ceiling. Yeah, it beat the average person, but it didn't even come close to the most creative people.
The lead researcher, Professor Jerby, he summed it up perfectly. The study showed that the top 10% of human participants scored way higher than any AI model they tested. So what this tells us is that human ingenuity, at its absolute peak, is still number one.
So these scientific findings are more than just interesting facts for a paper. They have immediate real-world consequences, especially for anyone who makes a living with their creative skills. Let's switch gears and look at the economic side of things to see how this is already shaking out.
So researchers dove into Upwork, which, is this huge online platform where freelancers get jobs. It's basically the perfect real-world laboratory to see the immediate economic shockwaves from a powerful new tool like ChatGPT.
And the data, well, it's pretty stark. In just the few months after ChatGPT came out, freelancers in fields like writing and design saw a 2% drop in jobs. But even more telling, they saw a 5.2% drop in what they were earning each month. That shows a direct, immediate hit to people's wallets.
But check this out, because this is the part that might surprise you. You'd probably think that the lower-skilled freelancers would be the ones hit the hardest, right? But the data actually showed that the top-tier, really high-quality freelancers were the ones disproportionately affected. It suggests that, right now, AI is acting as a substitute for creative work across the entire skill level, from bottom to top.
So if an AI can do the job faster, and in some cases even better than the average person, what does that leave for us? Well, this gets us to a much deeper question. How do we actually value art? Turns out it's about a whole lot more than just what the final product looks like.
In this really fascinating study from Columbia Business School, researchers showed a bunch of art to people. But here was the twist. They told some people a piece was made by a human, and told others it was generated by AI. And when people thought the art was made by AI, they valued it, get this, 62% less, a huge drop.
So why? Why such a massive difference in how we see it? Well, the study found that people consistently rated the art they thought was human-made as having more meaningfulness and emotional depth. It seems like we're hardwired to look for a story, for some kind of intent, for a human connection behind the art we look at. Professor Sheena Iyengar, one of the study's authors, just nails it. She says the machine can copy the brushstrokes, yeah, but it can't copy the life, the struggle, the feeling that went into making them. We value the process, the story, not just the pixels on the screen. And that bias we have, it leads us straight into this philosophical rabbit hole that, honestly, people have been debating for decades. What does it actually mean to be creative? Is it just about the thing you make, or is there something more going on?
A lot of philosophers draw a really hard line here. They argue that our creativity, human creativity, comes from our internal world, our emotions, our memories, our consciousness, our life experiences. AI, on the other hand, creates from external data. It's incredibly sophisticated pattern recognition, sure, but it doesn't have that inner world to draw from.
And this is not a new debate, not at all. It actually goes all the way back to the 1800s with Ada Lovelace, who worked on the world's first mechanical computer. Her famous idea, the Lovelace objection, basically says a machine can only do what we program it to do. It can't truly originate anything. For an AI to be genuinely creative, it would have to do something that surprises its own creators, something they can't even explain.
So, okay, we've got the science, the economics, the psychology. With all of that in mind, what does the future actually look like? Are we heading for a showdown with our own creations, or is there a different path forward? This is one of the biggest, messiest, most practical problems we're facing right now. If an AI makes a painting, who owns it? Is it the person who typed in the prompt, the company that built the AI, or does nobody own it? Our entire legal system is playing catch-up right now.
And you can see how this is playing out. The U.S. Copyright Office has been pretty consistent on one key thing. Copyright requires a human author. Back in 2019, they refused a copyright for art made by a creativity machine. More recently, they gave an artist copyright for the words and the layout of her comic book, but they explicitly said no to copyrighting the AI-generated images inside it. For now, the legal line is clear. No human, no copyright.
And that legal reality is kind of pushing us toward a more collaborative future. The most powerful stuff we're seeing isn't coming from AI working alone. It's coming from people using AI as a brand new kind of creative tool. The whole conversation is shifting from a competition to a partnership.
So, maybe we've been asking the wrong question this whole time. Maybe the real revolution isn't about what an AI can create on its own, but about how it can supercharge our own imaginations. It's not a rival here to replace us, but maybe a co-pilot, ready to take us to creative places we haven't even dreamed of yet. And what comes next? Well,